My father's career spanned 7 decades. He was a builder, a commercial real estate developer, a commercial realtor, a commercial broker, and an auctioneer. In all that time, he helped so many people. And it's not just the buildings that he built that will be here long after he's gone. It's really all the people that he helped and inspired, and their work in this world is going to outlast him for centuries.
Because he was passionate about Dayton's history, my father had an incredible gift. He could drive up and down almost any street in Dayton and tell you what was at that corner, what business thrived there, and why they mattered. But he didn't just dwell on the past. He used that knowledge to understand the present and anticipate the future. His deep understanding of Dayton's business landscape allowed him to predict what could come next, shaping opportunities for growth and success. His insight and dedication made a lasting impact on this community, and that's why he deserves to be in the Dayton Business Hall of Fame.
Rick and I go way back. We met in our early stages of our careers. I was general contractor, construction, and he was real estate. But he was very knowledgeable in the commercial real estate. Rick was one of these guys that if you need to know anything about 1031 exchange, he would be a wealth of knowledge. And he's the kind of guy you can contact and any time of the day, talk to him. He'd easily find time for lunch and share with you all the information he had or that was going on current events. I really enjoyed the friendship I had with him. I enjoyed spending time with him, and he was I could tell early on that he's a guy that really enjoyed what he did. He enjoyed his profession.
I met Rick initially over 20 years ago when I was a paralegal, and he was a client of my law firm. And over the years, I'd run into him multiple places, and eventually, when I became a realtor, he ended up being one of my primary mentors. And one of the great things about Rick was no matter how busy he was, no matter where he was in the world, whether he was walking on the beach or laying in a hospital bed after surgery, he would always answer the phone, "Hey there, how are you?" with the sunshine in his voice. So, I mean, he was just the happiest, most cheerful person I've ever met.
Over the years, I did several projects with Rick and his partner, Gary Woodley, and building public sort of facilities and buildings. And one day when they came into my office, we had a huge drawing of the Moraine Country Club on the wall. And Rick said, "Holy smokes, did you know the history of the Moraine Country Club building?" And I said, "No." And so he spent 20 or 30 minutes telling us about how it had morphed from being an elite high school to being 3 holes of golf, something new to try out, and the high school was sort of failing. And it eventually became 9 holes, and then the 18 holes, and then NCR itself copied the whole thing and made it into 2 golf courses, huge and wonderful golf courses right next to each other here in Dayton.
So my father was brilliant. He knew a lot of things about a lot of things. He was often the smartest person in the room, but he would never let on to it. And he never made anybody else feel dumb. He always explained his knowledge from a place of experience, and he always had the best stories to tell of how he got that experience. He had a vast amount of knowledge, and not just knowledge, he had the ability to apply it into real-day situations and come up with creative solutions that benefited everybody involved.
He was a very successful realtor and developer and did a lot of wonderful things for the Dayton area.
If I had to use one word to describe Rick, it would be cheerful and upbeat. I guess that's 2 words, but he just never was somebody I ever saw in a bad mood.
My father was a connector. That's the word I would use to describe him. He loved connecting with people, connecting others to others, and making sure that everybody's needs were met.
Rick was one of these guys that's always smiling. He was always in a good mood. He was always friendly. He was always happy.